Welcome back to the Fantasy Price Check. Today we're going to be talking about Michael Pittman Jr. We're going to discuss his redraft and dynasty outlook and get into everything that you need to know about Michael Pittman Jr. in order for you to dominate your fantasy football league. If you're new to the channel, we review fantasy football players, so if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss another price check like this one. Let's get into Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr. was getting some serious hype during the offseason. However, an early season injury nearly derailed his rookie season. Michael Pittman Jr. suffered a very strange leg injury which required surgery and caused him to miss 4 weeks of the season. Michael Pittman suffered from compartment leg syndrome, which is a muscle and nerve condition which causes swelling and pain. Pittman said that he felt so much pressure in his leg that he thought it was going to explode. The injury started with a toe injury, which caused him to alter how he runs to put less pressure on his toe, which ultimately led to him straining his calf, which then led to this injury. In week 3, Pittman went down on a play and said that it felt like a tear. He then got it checked out by team doctors and they said that everything looks good, so he continued to play, but then later that evening, he said that he wasn't able to feel his foot. He then immediately went to the ER and underwent surgery. The issue was simply that the pressure that he was feeling in his calf and foot had to be relieved, and that's what the surgery accomplished. Pittman was able to return to the Colts in week 8 after the bye week, and in his first game back, he was able to get a 58% snap share. Over the past 3 weeks, Michael Pittman Jr. has been extremely solid. He's gotten 18 targets, 14 receptions, 223 yards, and a touchdown in his last 3 games. Let's go ahead and check out his first NFL career touchdown against the Green Bay Packers.
Play action from Rivers. Pass is caught by the rookie Pittman. Coming off his best day. First touchdown for Pittman.
Now that Michael Pittman is back and healthy, he should be the featured wide receiver that the Colts have been desperately lacking. He has a nice upcoming schedule as well, facing the Titans next and then 2 games against the Texans. Let's take a look at the type of player that Michael Pittman is. Michael Pittman is big and fast. He is 6'4", 223 pounds and runs a 4.52. That is Mike Evans and Kenny Golladay type of size and speed. There are maybe 5 guys in the NFL with that combination of size and speed at the wide receiver position. Let's take a look at his profile on playerprofiler.com. Michael Pittman has a 93rd percentile speed score and an 89th percentile catch radius, along with a solid burst score, agility score, and college dominator score. He played 4 years of college football at USC and had a pretty good junior year, but he absolutely crushed it as a senior. During his senior season, he had 101 receptions, 1,276 receiving yards, and 11 touchdowns in 13 games. The Colts absolutely love this kid. They took him with the 34th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, making him the 8th wide receiver taken in that loaded NFL draft class. Let's take a look at his scouting profile. Here are the pros to his game. He's a physical wide receiver that's good on contested catches. He's strong after the catch, has excellent tracking ability, and strong hands. Now here are the cons to his game. Lacks a quick release off the line of scrimmage, lacks elusiveness in space, does not create separation at the top of his routes, and needs to improve on press coverage. Let's talk about Michael Pittman Jr.'s outlook. For the remainder of the 2020 season, Michael Pittman Jr. is startable as a wide receiver 2 or a flex in his favorable matchups against the Titans and the Texans. However, when he goes to play the Raiders and the Steelers, I would end up leaving him on my bench. And for purposes of redraft leagues in 2021, I see Michael Pittman Jr. being drafted around round 6 or round 7. The biggest question mark for Michael Pittman Jr. in dynasty leagues is who's going to be throwing him the football in 2021 and beyond. Philip Rivers signed a 1-year deal with the Colts, and Jacoby Brissett is on the final year of his deal. So what did the Colts do at quarterback? Did they re-sign one of those guys? Did they address quarterback in the draft, or did they go after another free agent? With the Colts likely making the playoffs and not getting a top 20 pick, their QB options in the draft don't look too promising. However, pursuing a free agent like Jameis Winston or trading for Sam Darnold do look like options for them. Regardless of who's under center, Michael Pittman Jr. is primed to be the wide receiver 1 for the Colts moving forward. Michael Pittman Jr. is underpriced. His rare combination of size and speed make him a force to be reckoned with. If he reaches the top of his potential, you could be looking at the next Mike Evans, the next Kenny Golladay, the next DK Metcalf. Let's hope that the Colts can get themselves a QB for the 2021 season. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to check out all of our price checks, I'm going to be throwing up a playlist with all of our breakout alerts right over there, so be sure to check that out. And don't forget to subscribe below. I'll see you guys on the next one.